Did you realize that plastics is all over the place now? When you go to the supermarkets, what do you see the most on the shelves? Isn't it plastic? Every product is packaged in plastics. Even at the counter, they will store all these plastic packaged items into another big plastic bag. Did you know that Malaysia used up 148,000 tons of plastic packaging for food alone in 2020? Our yearly per capita consumption of plastic packaging is 16.78 kg, outranking bigger nations like China and Indonesia. Every year, at least 14 million tons of plastic wind up in the ocean, and plastic accounts for 80% of all marine trash discovered. As a result, this plastic debris would entangle and be ingested by the marine creatures, causing severe injury and death. Besides, these plastics are normally discarded into landfills, occupying hundreds of hectares of land and emitting harmful methane and carbon dioxide emissions, as well as extremely toxic leachates during the decomposition stage.
Our campus is not an exception. This issue is very relevant to us as plastics can be spotted everywhere. As you can see, here is the current situation in the compound of Mahalla Ali, whereby most of the plastic waste are single-use water bottles and also plastic packaging.
Especially in cafeteria, the consumption of plastic is very excessive. Plastic cup, plastic container, and also straw are the most common plastic items that are found on the campus. They are only used once and discarded right away, but the impacts remain forever.
Number 1. To lower carbon dioxide emission, producing plastics, transporting it, and recycling and disposing of waste material is result in fewer carbon dioxide emission if plastic is being used less. Can you believe there is 26,000 students in Iium? We believe by conducting our project, we can help our Earth by reducing the consumption of plastic in Iium in line with the 12 SDG by changing the habits of 26,000 students from using single-use plastics to sustainable practices. Number 2. To reduce the usage of natural resources. This is because natural resources such as water, oil, natural gas, and coal are all used in manufacturing the process of a plastic. We can reduce the need for new raw materials by lowering our use of plastics and reusing what we already have. Number 3. Reducing plastic waste in the campus will simultaneously reduce the contamination of the environment and the water, air, and soil. Reusing plastic will help to reduce the amount of rubbish that ends up in the ocean, incinerators, and landfill, while it will remain for a very long time. It will also result in a reduction in the burning of plastic, which generates poisonous fumes that will be harmful to human health. Number 4. Plastic pollution in our ocean causes marine wildlife and the other species to become entangled in the plastic debris. It is worth noting that the plastic that ends up in the water does not disappear. Instead, it breaks down into bits that are eaten by marine animals and then passed up the food chain, bringing synthetic and poisonous contaminants that plainly affect biodiversity. Due to this, thousands of animals die from getting entangled in plastic or digesting them, yet providing us with another reason to reduce plastic usage, which is in line with the SDG 14. Number 5. Landfill space can be reduced by limiting the amount of plastic we use. By lessening the usage of plastic, our food and water and air will be cleaner and safer. As a stepping stone, reducing single-use plastic waste at Iium can be regarded as one of the ways for Iium and the Iium community to contribute in lessening amount of single-use plastic waste to the landfill in accordance to the Sustainable Development Goals number 12, which is responsible production and consumption that the government aims to achieve by the year of 2030.
Teaching and convincing people to switch to more sustainable practices is particularly challenging, mainly due to the fact that they are so comfortable with using plastics daily until it has become a norm to all of us. Hence, the practice of bringing and using alternative items such as our own metal straws, cutleries, reusable containers, and shopping bags to public eateries, especially the campus's cafeterias, are still aligned to a lot of us. We asked several students on their takes of bringing and using their own alternative items such as metal straws, cutlery, reusable food containers, and shopping bags to the cafeterias.
Have you ever used this alternative in public before?
No.
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 Have you ever considered doing so?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Honestly, no.
So what's stopping you from doing so?
Honestly, it's burdensome and I don't know where to get, so that's why plastics are more easy to get and more convenient to find.
To me, I personally find it burdensome to bring this alternative around.
Well, honestly, I think it's not a very common thing. Not a lot of people practice it, so I think I might look strange.
In my opinion, the most crucial part is spreading awareness among the people regarding the critical issue of excessive usage of plastics inside the campus, as well as the effects it would impose on the environment, such as climate change, marine pollution, and air pollution. Obviously, many attempts have been made to spread awareness in the past, mostly through conferences and talks. However, it lacks active participation from the people. Therefore, in order to ensure that our campaign is effective and well received, we believe that instead of awareness talks, it could actually be done through a series of campaigns which include activities like creative poster making, singing, and drama competitions. I honestly think this is the best way to spread awareness rather than the typical talk, as it is very fun and entertaining. Hence, it will be able to attract more attention. Coupling it with offers of rewards would also be a good idea to garner attention.
In my opinion, plastic forks, spoons, or straws are something we tend to assume are unavailable when eating on the go or in cafeteria. Even though alternatives exist, they are not widely known or accessible in our campus. So the overconsumption of single-use plastic in Iium cafeteria is a direct result of our societal and university students' obsession with convenience, which would not be necessary if everyone took a moment to plan before heading and leaving the mahala. As a result, we would advise carrying our own metal, cutlery containers, and even shopping bags when we are eating in mahala or on the go. Many people, in our opinion, walk around campus with their own reusable water bottles, so why not metal straws, cutleries, and containers to pack their food from the cafeterias? As previously stated, alternatives are not easily accessible. So, and considering that the most student mode of transportation is walking, we would urge and should urge all the cafeterias and convenience stores on our campus to sell metal straws and long-term use food containers and cutlery at a reasonable price range.
I think an effective way to be able to reduce plastic in campus, the Iium Administration Office needs to issue a statement on prohibiting the usage of single-use plastics. We humans, instead of investing in good quality goods, which are food containers, tumblers, and so on that will last forever, we frequently prioritize convenience over durability and long-term consequences, which is why we are producing waste at an alarming rate. So, in order to reduce waste and usage of plastic in campus, the university needs to issue a statement on prohibiting plastic. Then it would force the cafeteria vendors to discontinue the use of plastic bags, containers, straws, and cups altogether. It would be a completely shock to students, but maybe for the early stage of banning, the cafeteria vendors would still provide these items, but would charge it for 2 ringgits for every plastic use. We as students may find it burdensome to pay that much for plastics. Therefore, it would leave no choice but to bring their own cutleries, tumblers, and food containers whenever they want to take away food in campus's cafeteria.
You also can consider recycling any old clothes to turn it into a reusable grocery and shopping bags. We are all aware how the plastic wastage issue can pollute our environment. In this way, we could reduce the consumption of plastic bags and the rate of plastic wastage in Iium. Moreover, by considering the clothes, we could also save a significant number of resources in the textile industry, such as fuel and manpower, which would have been used in the manufacturing process. So I believe that this simple idea could also be a small business proposal that can help us as a student to generate a side income, and at the same time we can practice how to sustain the environment.
For the world to be a better place to live with no plastic, let's start from today.
The change
Starts
From
you.
Bye.